This time I'm walking to New Orleans. I'm walking to New Orleans. I'm gonna need.
Yes, indeed. It's been a hard few weeks here for metal detecting. I tell you what, 3 weeks ago I hopped over to Ocean City and went up north to Bethany Beach. I searched that beach for 3 straight hours, and you know what I found? 91 cents. I think 3/4, a dime, and a nickel, and a penny. Yep, it was a hard day, and not only that, I pulled a muscle in my back, and I've been all stove up ever since then, walking around like some broke-winged chicken. Can't hardly move. But I have got out recently a couple of short little periods, just kind of test out my shoulder a little bit. As of yet, on my metal detecting, I hadn't found any silver, I hadn't found any gold, and I hadn't found, let's see, a George Washington inauguration button. But I'm going to persevere at this, and by golly, sooner or later it'll come to me. If you enjoy it while you're doing, you're persevering it, then sooner or later something's good going to happen, I guess. But as of yet, it's been kind of short coming. But anyway, when you persevere at something, you got to make sure you persevere at the right thing, because like my father would say, he always spoke in kind of idiomatic speech. He says, if you try to find a diamond under a goat's tail, you may never find one. Well, that's true. So maybe I've just been looking in the wrong place, but I'm going to figure it out before long. I'm going to get over there on Chautauqua Creek, or around some of these creeks out a little bit west of here that I know the Civil War action was going on, and I'll find me some Civil War brass sooner or later. But you got to persevere whatever you do, and right now I'm in the mood to persevere. Sooner or later it's going to all come to me, but I ain't going to blame nobody if I fail or not succeed at what I'm doing yet. I mean, I ain't going to blame federal government or state government, society. I ain't going to blame the mom and daddy or anything like that. I'm not going to go out and throw rocks at the police because I can't find my gold or silver. I'm going to take personal responsibility for it and then persist. Now I figure by doing that, sooner or later I will succeed. But in addition to persevering, you got to kind of enjoy persevering. You got to enjoy the trip that you're taking. I remember when I was going through and getting my degrees and stuff, I look back on it now, it wasn't so much getting a degree, that didn't make that much of a difference to me. But I enjoyed the process of doing it. And that's what you kind of have to enjoy in life, is the process of getting it done. So anyway, right now I'm sitting on the B&O Railroad, built in 1835. Got a lot of history with it in the Civil War, the economics of Maryland and so forth. And you take Abraham Lincoln. He was on this track when he was writing the Gettysburg Address going up to Gettysburg. Wasn't that much longer, he took his final train ride right on this track down from DC up to Camden and then out to Springfield, Missouri on his funeral train. So this track right here, this right-of-way that we're sitting on here, has some really serious history associated with it. And in the Civil War, the Union troops had to guard this railroad because I think it was Stonewall Jackson and his crowd come up here and tear up these railroads to prevent supplies and troops movement through the Union held areas. So it's a good place to find some relics. The railroad itself, I think the original line is a few, about 12 foot over here. There's an old line laid down, and I believe that's the original one. I think this is new, but this is fine with me. So for the next couple of weeks, I may be just searching around this area here before I take off and go to western Maryland up to that Chautauqua Creek or Monocacy Creek. It's a lot of Union Civil War action going on out there. It's just a matter of how to get into the places is all I'm dealing with. Right now, I'd kind of like to show you some of the stuff I found in the last couple of days just searching around this area, this short little stretch of woods right now next to the B&O Railroad. Stuff that I found over the last couple of days here before a train runs over me here. I guess everyone knows what that is, these blue glass telegraph insulators. Old Samuel Morse, he made a deal with the B&O Railroad and other railroads to run a telegraph poles right along the right-of-way of the railroad. Therefore, you find these all the time. They're not really uncommon. You can sell them for $2 or $20 or something like that. That's a Hemingway number 40. They make lamps out of them nowadays and stuff like that, but I haven't got any need for them. Somebody One day he's going to say, I really wish I had a telegraph insulator. I'm going to give him 5 of them. I come up with that little thing. I'm going to show you that a little bit closer there. That looks pretty good. What that is, it's a brass buckle. Comes off of a horse bridle, of all things. Yeah, it's not a military horse. It's a private horse, and that buckle fit on his neck on that bridle apparatus they had. It dates back to the 1800s. I found it on the internet. It's not worth anything, I don't guess, but one of these days I'm going to take me a belt that'll fit this thing, and I'm going to make me a belt out of it. Here's a nice little find here. Okay, there you go. Yep. That's a U.S. Army medal badge. They hung the different types of certifications underneath it, and that right there says Driver M. Turns out to be a motorcycle certification. He's a certified motorcycle driver that lost his badge somewhere. Yep. Found about 3 inches deep out there. Brass. But kind of interesting find, I guess. I always run across these little toys. That's a Matchbox Hot Wheels 1992 on it, so it's not worth anything. It's all someone stepped on it, mashed it all up. But I did find this thing. That's 1968. Which the first year Hot Wheels made anything. They came out with 16 car models, and this is one of them. That's called the Hot Heap. That thing is worth $100 brand new. It's still in its original packaging. Worth about $50 or $60 if you take it out of the packaging. And this one right here with 3 flat tires and kind of dirty, I don't know what it's worth, but one of these days I'm going to find me a little car collector that'd like to have that, and I'm going to give it to him. But that's a 1968, that's one of the original Hot Wheels. That was kind of a nice find. I found a belt. Yes, indeed. I'm sitting right next to this darn train track over here. But anyway, that's a belt. That's attached to a pair of pants out in the woods. A pair of pants already rotted away. I just kind of stripped it off of it, and I found this belt. So this guy went in the woods. Looked like it might have been a kid. I don't know. But he went in the woods. He came out, didn't have no pants or a belt on him. I don't know how he explained that, but I found him. Yeah, someone's girlfriend's picture is in that. No. Yep, it's not made of gold or anything. If it may be gold, the picture would probably still be in it. But I don't know. I might just throw that away because I don't think it's going to be worth anything. Then I found this little thing. By golly, why don't you take a real close look at her? See that engraving of that woman on there? That is a Gibson Girl. This guy made a drawing back in 1890. And from 1890 to 1920, this was the style for an American woman to be. That is the style, the Gibson Girl. I'll tell you a little bit about the Gibson Girl, if you don't mind, because I just happen to know it because I looked it up. I'll describe her for you a little bit. She was tall, slender. She had an ample bosom. She had big hips. But she had no waist at all because she had that waist was constricted by a corset, which was really tightened her up. So she had an exaggerated hourglass type of shape to her. But she was the style for everyone to be back in 1905. As a matter of fact, I was looking at TV last night and saw that, looking at Theodore Roosevelt, had a picture of his daughter up there, and I'd be God darn if his daughter didn't look exactly like her. Anyway, I even think the daughter even had a brooch like this on her. That might be Theodore Roosevelt's daughter's brooch, as far as I know. So she was the epitome of beauty back in 1905. I kind of think about today's women, they a little bit similar to that. I mean, they got, some of them have, now the hair's not like that unless they go into a wedding. They got ample bosom. But now instead of doing what the Gibson Girl did, they packing it full of something, they just put silicone in there. So I guess that area between the two mounds of the silicone, you can call that Silicon Valley too, I reckon. I don't know. Anyway, that's a Gibson Girl brooch. There you can see the original pins there on it. And there you go. That's a Gibson Girl brooch. There are Gibson Girl societies all around. If I just may send this to somebody one day and say, here, you can have it, because I don't need it. All right, that's the finds that I picked up over the last couple of days, and I'll get back to you later.